Do you know what's really stealing your joy right now? It's not your job or your ex or even that one friend who didn't show up for you. It's the resentment that you're holding on to against a security blanket. Let me ask you, how's that blanket working out for you? Is it warm and comforting, or is it suffocating and heavy? Today we're going to talk about how holding on to grievances is actually quietly draining the life and the love out of your world. Welcome back. This is lesson 72 of A Course in Miracles, and today's lesson is holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Now, if you do not resonate with the word God, that is perfectly okay. You can change this word to something that you do resonate with, whether it be life, the divinity, the universe, a higher power, or yourself, whatever it might be. You are allowed to. Hi, my name is Sarai, your modern day hitch, and I love to help women just like you cultivate a healthy, loving relationship with yourself, all through the power and the awareness of real self-love. So, let's get started. I want you to think of that person who broke your heart, the one who lied, the one that cheated, or maybe they just even walked away without an explanation. See, when this happens, we replay the story in our mind every single time, especially when we're thinking about dating again. We think, that person hurt me, and I can't and I won't let anyone else do the same thing to me. But here's what's actually happening. While you're holding on to the past, you're unknowingly shutting the door on your future. So let's put it like this. You're standing at the edge of a garden, but the gate is locked because you're holding on to the key to the last gate that you walk through. You keep looking back at the old barren land, hoping that it'll bloom again. But it can't, because it was never meant to. And until you drop that key and pick up the one in front of you, you won't be able to enter the new garden that's actually waiting for you and waiting to grow. So decide today to let the past relationship stay where it belongs, in the past. Not because what they did was okay, but because your future deserves better than to be tied to what's already been done. Now let's talk about family. Think about a family member. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, or a sibling, or even a close cousin. They said or they did something years ago that hurt you very deep. Maybe they judged your choices, they dismissed your feelings, or they failed to show up when you needed them the most. And now every interaction with them feels like you're walking into a room with a broken mirror, and you can't look at them without seeing the cracks. But see, here's the truth. Holding on to that pain doesn't fix the mirror. It just keeps you staring at the cracks instead of seeing the full picture. Imagine what could change if you allowed yourself to see them as human, flawed, and trying their best just like you. See, the thing about forgiveness is that it doesn't mean that you forget, but it does free you from the burden of carrying their mistakes. So for today, try to choose to put the weight down. Whether or not they ever apologize or change, you deserve peace. And I know that you've heard this one before. See, forgiveness is not about them. It really is all about giving yourself just the permission to heal. Now, I want to talk about the hardest person to forgive. You. Maybe you made a mistake in love. You stayed in a toxic relationship for too long. You hurt someone that you cared about, or you missed an opportunity that you can't stop replaying in your mind. It actually feels like every time that you take a step forward, you hear that inner voice saying, but remember when you messed up? Here's the reality. Holding a grievance against yourself is like driving a car with the emergency brake on. You can press the gas all you want, but you're not going anywhere fast. What if instead of beating yourself up, you actually ask, what lesson did I learn? How did that mistake shape the person that I am today? Because that's what mistakes are. Teachers. Today, remind yourself that you are worthy of love and peace, not because you're perfect, but because you're growing. Release the brake and watch how far you can actually go. I want you to take this with you today. Holding on to grievances is like keeping your heart locked behind a door while waiting for someone else to open it. But here's the truth. The key has been in your hand the entire time. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's your superpower. It's actually how you unlock the peace and love that's already yours. So I'm going to give you a quick little exercise for today. Think of one person or situation that's been weighing you down. Close your eyes and picture the pain as a heavy bag that you've been carrying around. Now I want you to imagine setting that bag down. Feel the weight lift. I want you to say to yourself, I choose peace, I choose freedom, and I choose me. You've held on to this long enough. I think it's time to set it down and step into the peace that you've been craving. If this message resonates with you, I want you to follow me for more tips on creating freedom in your life. And I want you to remember, the past doesn't define you. What you choose today does. Forgiveness is your greatest act of self-love. So ask yourself, what's one grievance that you can actually let go of right now, today? Your peace is waiting. Don't keep it waiting any longer. Till the next one, I am sending you all lots and lots of love and light.